Vargas started this press conference with Roy Jones Jr. as his trainer, and now he's ending camp with Eric Morales as his trainer. Do you think that's a mistake, being that Eric Morales doesn't have much experience as a trainer besides guiding his brother's very young career up to this point? Do you think that's a mistake he's making going into this fight?
Well, I don't know if it's a mistake. It's just maybe things didn't go well with him and Roy Jones, or something happened there. You know, whatever happened, it was just not the right approach going into a big fight like this. You know, just switching trainers in such a big important fight like this one, it's just not right, because Roy Jones has a style, and his style, he tries to introduce his style to fighters as a trainer. Now going into a completely different style with Eric Morales, of course. And you see Jesse still has some of the style that was taught to him back when Robert Alcazar used to train him. You know, so he's been from trainer to trainer to trainer, and at the end of the day, you'll see in that fight, I think he's gonna get confused. He's gonna try to do something that is new to him in an important fight like this.
In this fight, is this a must-win situation for Bradley, being that he's facing a young fighter, undefeated young fighter that they're pushing to be the next star in boxing? Is this a must-win situation for Bradley?
Well, definitely. You know, Tim needs to win this fight, and he needs to win it decisively. You know, he needs to basically make a statement. Even though Jesse Vargas is no pushover, he is a world champion, and he's a young up-and-coming fighter. He is at the point where Bradley was at one point. So he wants to be at the level where Bradley is now. So it is very important, and it's a must for Bradley to win this fight.
Tell us about how it is balancing all these fighters you have. You have Jesse Magdaleno. He's fighting also at some point within this month, and then you have Bradley. How is it balancing that act right there with so many great fighters that you have?
Well, it's a little hard, but everything works out at the end of the day. I established a team of trainers. I got my brother Antonio, and I got a few other trainers that I've been training for a few years. So they all train the way I train, so they know my style, and we stick to my style. Diego Magdaleno fights a day before Bradley, so the day of the weigh-ins, I'm flying to Texas, and after Diego Magdaleno's fight, I fly back on Saturday morning. You know, and it's just part of business. You know, Diego Magdaleno's in great shape. I mean, yesterday he showed me that there's no doubt in my mind that we're going to win that fight too. I'm flying to Texas on Friday, early morning, to be there for his fight Friday night. And then I'm flying back Saturday morning for Bradley's fight here Saturday night. So, you know, but at the same time, I got part of my team with Diego. I got part of my team with Bradley. Wherever I go, I split my team. I mean, I cannot do it on my own. Having all these great fighters in my camp, I cannot handle everything on my own.
You know, Victor Ortiz has been in and out with you in his camp. He's been doing a lot of talking, calling out a few big names, a few rematches, one specifically with Mayweather. What do you think about Ortiz, being that he hasn't really been in the gym much, but he's doing a whole lot of talking?
Well, Victor needs to prove himself, first of all. I mean, me as his trainer, his present trainer, Victor needs to show more than just talk, you know? And if he wants attention, he's getting it, but not in the right way, you know? He just needs to get back to the gym and start training, and then from there we go. And he needs to start winning. He needs to start fighting. He needs to stay active. He needs to keep winning and get to that point again where he needs to prove to the world that he belongs in those kind of fights again, because he lost to every single opponent.
You know, people don't take him serious, being that he's not in the gym much, he doesn't fight much, and then he comes up with this injury that's rumored to happen during a skateboard accident. What do you think Ortiz really has to? Is he concentrating? Is he still have that hunger to box and be at the top?
Honestly, me as a trainer and an honest person, I don't see it. I mean, he is a fighter himself, and he's always going to be a fighter. It's like a retired fighter. A retired fighter always has a mentality that he can come back.
How are you?
But deep inside your heart, you know you can. And, you know, he trained with me for one fight. He trained with me for one fight. And the hardest part of the training was the mental part. The training was something that we are used to doing on a daily basis, But the thing is that the mental part is the most important part. We need to keep him here. We need to keep him strong in his mind because he can't just be out there talking to people and just approaching the wrong interviews, you know?
Do you think that you can take him back to the top, or is that something that all lies within him?
Well, let me tell you something. It all depends. It all depends on him. He needs to put himself in one place. He can't be in different places at the same time. He needs to say, you know what, I want to be a world champion again, and dedicate himself maybe 2 more years, 3 more years, and he'll do it. But if he's just wandering around the world and just saying that he's still a boxer, it's not gonna happen.